Good day, blokes. It's Sap, back again with another video. Still ill as fuck, both physically and mentally, of course. I just finished reviewing a video, a news article of the Florida man with no arms and no legs who was armed and on the run. That's actually what the news headline said. And it was a man who lived into his mom's basement for 1 week. And then a week later, both his parents were dead. And he was the person of interest in the murder of both his parents. But he had no fucking arms and legs. And yet he was running and armed. Like a gun in his hand. I don't know how. I didn't study math. But I did know that he unfortunately lost his limbs after eating... I don't know if it was leftover sushi. That didn't say in the article. But he had a nasty bacterial meningitis. So it was tragic, but still... murdering both your parents, allegedly. I don't know if he actually did it. That's not as friendly as you could be. But now we have another peculiar, probably meth involved, Florida man, accused of urinating in the middle of the street and directing traffic. So, let me read the rest of this article. Terrence Rouse, arrested in FERN Park, whatever the fuck that is. Florida, of course. It has to be in Florida. FERN Park, Florida, a 35-year-old Winter Park man was arrested on allegations of urinating in the middle of a roadway while directing traffic. I mean, this is, to me, at least where I'm from, not even that much of a difference with regular traffic directors. I mean, if somebody's pissing their pants and directing traffic, it doesn't seem like that this man is something abnormal compared to the normal usual traffic directors. I mean, they're all trash. Like, if you... Over here, we only, of course, have traffic directors when it's that busy, that crowded to the point where the red lights, the fucking... What do you call that? Well, if I literally translate it, it would be stoplights. But if they don't work anymore because it's so crowded and some bloke, wanker, has to go out on the street and do like this and this and this. So I don't mean to do... the German greet. That might seem like it did, but... You know what I mean, directing traffic, but somebody pissing their pants, at least if they do their job well, I accept it 100%, you know. It's about performance. Terrence Rouse was arrested on 1 p.m. Friday in FERN Park on charges of indecent exposure of sexual organs and possession or use of drug equipment. Hold up. Oi. It just said urinating in the middle of the street. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to ask this question real quick. If you're pissing on the street, which some people want voluntarily, like I'm pretty sure Logan Paul is the type of bloke who goes to a glory hole to get pissed on because that's what he wants. But if you're out on the street, so not private property, and you're pissing somewhere, does that count as public urination and public indecent exposure? Because of course, in order to piss, you'd have to, show it. Well, not show it, but it will be exposed in the public. So this is a serious question because, of course, every man has at least a couple times, well, at least probably 100 times in their entire lifetime, has pissed somewhere where it's not allowed, like a dog. But the question is, if you get caught, do you also get a charge for indecent exposure of the sexual organs, unless you're pissing out of your mouth or earlobes? I don't know what's going on or what you're doing right there, but if you get caught, do you get 2 charges for pissing in public and indecent exposure? But I don't know, maybe this man was actually, after he was done pissing, was maybe doing the helicopter or something. I don't know what actually went down, because the title does not, reveal everything what went on. So Terrence Rouse was arrested around 1 p.m. Friday in FERN Park on charges of indecent exposure of sexual organs and possession or use of drug equipment. Now, this wouldn't be a real Florida man story if it didn't involve drugs, of course. As you know, there must always be a substance, and I'm gonna go ahead and guess, as a little bit of knowledge of the Florida man, having reviewed enough Florida man articles, it does not look like it was meth. And the reason why is because this mugshot was probably taken immediately after he was arrested. And usually, if it was meth the fuck up, you would expect something like this. Kind of like when Conor McGregor just did his recent interview. Have you seen that interview with, what is the guy who always interviews people in MMA? Ariel or something. Did an interview with Conor McGregor, and it was like, "Oh, mate, I fucking yeah, mate." You know, you couldn't really understand him. He was constantly talking, and his pupils were very fucking hard. You know, that's usually what you get if you increase the sympathetic nervous system, because methamphetamine is a sympathomimetic, is what you call it. But this Florida man doesn't really look like he was that methed up to me, that excited. So maybe it was just... Probably wasn't even an opioid either, because he wouldn't be able to be dragged to the police station for a mugshot. But it was probably some narcotic. So not meth, I guess. But it depends on how much time passed from when he was arrested and, you know, injecting shit, and then he actually got... And to the point where he got the mugshot. If it was hours and hours later, it might have been something like that. Meth, but I don't know. We'll read the article. According to the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, a deputy on routine patrol near Lake of the Woods Boulevard and U.S. Highway 1792 spotted 2 vehicles stopped at the intersection with a man, later identified as Rouse, waving at vehicles to go around him. Okay, so it was like maybe just, you know, directing a couple cars to not hit his car or to go around his car. I don't know if he stopped probably his vehicle, and maybe he didn't even try to, you know, direct traffic, because when you say directing traffic, you would more so think of somebody who's standing in the middle of an intersection, like actually in the middle, and multiple times telling cars where to go. But if he had his car parked himself and directed people not to hit his car while he was pissing, that would be a different case, I would say so, than just, you know, having a charge of directing traffic. The deputy said he thought there had been an accident, but he saw Rouse urinating in the middle of 2 turn lanes while using his other hand to wave drivers past him. So again, Sigma grinds at 100%. He was directing traffic while pissing on Logan Paul. It was actually insane that he didn't even need both hands to direct the traffic. It was just one hand pissing and telling people to go the other way. Like, that's pretty impressive to me. The deputy conducted a traffic stop. He reported that Rouse said, "I drank a lot of water and couldn't wait for the light," before apologizing. So yes, it definitely was water. It was not something like horse loads of alcohol. Again, I don't know what substance, and it's always unfortunate that they usually don't even mention it in the article, because there must be a toxicology report. That's, you know, you can't deny that. You can deny to blow, which Nina Akdel has never denied, you know, the wife of Logan Paul. She never denied a quick blow. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you get a traffic stop by a cop and he says you have to blow like for alcohol content to measure that, I'm pretty sure you can say no, but then you have to go to the police station and get a blood test, which obviously you don't want because it's more accurate, and you also get to measure other substances. For example, poppers or whatever they call it. Like if you have massive amounts of, I don't know, even laughing gas. I don't know who the fuck would ever use laughing gas, by the way, because in case you didn't know, I've never used it, and of course I never will. Like, if you know anything about the central nervous system, you would understand that laughing gas is probably one of the worst drugs. I would say it's more toxic and more idiotic to take than smoking methamphetamine, crystal methamphetamine, because of course crystal meth will give you significant amounts of excitotoxicity, aka dopaminergic neurons getting too much excitation and dying from the stress, either by pro-inflammatory cytokines or just some other way, but you will have death of dopaminergic neurons. But laughing gas is, the high comes directly from the death of neurons. Like, this is actually true. Laughing gas just destroys neurons, and that's also where the high comes from. And it also has something to do with glutamate, but I don't know the exact pathway, but it's very stupid to do laughing gas. You'd be better off, I guess, to do meth. But let me continue. What was I going to say? Yes. this bloke, if he refused to blow for his alcohol content, he must have had a blood test in the police station. So most people will do the blow, just like Nina Akdal, who legit went on record, on video, who begged for a sausage. Like, holy fuck. But the question always is like, I have a question for those types of females, because obviously they're massively attention seeking, and you have the freedom of speech to say like that you want a massive fucking sausage ravage my body. That's actually what she said. Nina Akdal, watch the video. I want a massive sausage to ravage my body, because Logan Paul is rocking a 2-incher, of course. But my question is, they're doing it for attention, but do you legitimately think that it's a positive way of attention seeking? Do you literally, sorry for overusing that word, I'll use the word legit, think that it's empowering to get your body plowed out and also to suck? Fucking disgusting. I don't want to get this YouTube video age restricted, but do you really think it's empowering to suck sausages in what is called football game or a honkball stadium? That's what she said on video as well, that she sucked a lot of things during a basketball match or something in a station. I can't remember, but she said it on video. But legit, she doesn't have many brain cells, but the 3 who are still alive, don't you think like that is something I should find another way of seeking attention? I would think so, but they probably are not, that level of intelligence to understand that people find it absolutely despicable and disgusting. But let me continue. So, the deputy conducted the traffic stop. He reported that Rouse said, "I drank a lot of water and couldn't wait for the light," before apologizing. Rouse was the passenger in the vehicle. Oh, okay, so he was not the bloke driving. And when the driver was interviewed by authorities, he said a backpack inside the car belonged to Rouse, according to officials. Deputies said a bottle with marijuana residue, a digital scale, and baggies were found in the backpack. Excuse me. Rouse was arrested and taken to jail. So, again, it must have been marijuana. You can clearly tell on the mugshot it wasn't meth. He even admitted, or the backpack was filled with marijuana residue. So what happened is, he got really high, he smoked, drank probably alcohol as well, or just water, then stepped out of the vehicle, with one hand was pissing in the middle of the street, and the other hand directing traffic where to go. But again, I think my review is it's a weak story. The headline sounds good, interesting, entertaining, but he didn't actually direct traffic. It's not as, significant as I would have expected it to be. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this boring news article. In my opinion, it was boring, but thank you for watching.